A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all my sewing lovelies. Welcome back to Ursa Minor Sewing. This is Samantha. And today, on the big day of the season, we're going to be working on the biggest piece of the felt Christmas tree nativity scene set that I told you about a couple days ago, and that would be the Christmas tree. So grab your green and black felt and let's get started. Okay everybody, so I've got my stiff black felt here, and we need to cut this into a semicircle. The first thing we gotta do is find the middle of this. Give it a quick fold. Right here.
Don't look close.
My mother just emerged from the sewing room and she did this. All by hand. Isn't it cute? She's making a sewing machine cover for my sister. It's going to look like a VW bug when it's done. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see Instagram pictures. Anyways, so I folded my felt in half. I put a little bit of a snip in the middle so I know where I gotta go. I've got a chunk of thread tied to a chalk pencil. I'm just going to find that slit again, and going all the way down to my bottom edge here, is going to, one sec, start drawing in, where is it, my semicircle. This is not working. One sec here. Find the middle. Where's that slit that I just cut? There it is. Down there. Try to hold your pencil up as straight as you can. And just start drawing your semicircle. Okay, so I've got a very rough line in here of my semicircle. Now, just need to cut it out. Okay, there we go. So now when we pop this up, it'll sit like that on the floor, or kind of like that. Let's try popping it the other way. There we go. It'll sit like that on the floor. Okay, so for the green, it's going to be a little easier now because all you have to do is take this, lay it out, take your stiff black stuff here, your black felt, lay it on your green, like so, and just cut around it. Okay, so now that you've got your green cut out, once again you need to find the middle of your semicircle. And I'm just going to cut a little snip there to find it. Then what you also want to do is kind of eyeball where about the middle is. Right about there. Put just a little snip there, and then I'm also going to put a snip there and a snip down here. And the reason why is so that now I can see where I'm going to place my garlands afterwards. So the next step to this is you need to, I'll just show you the picture here. What she did for her tree is she went along and she satin stitched in some zigzags to kind of give the tree branch-like texture. So I'm going to go find myself some green thread, and I'm going to do that to this chunk of fabric, and I'll come back and show you what we do next. Okay, so I just finished doing the decorative stitching on my tree here. I'll show you the stitch I used. Check that out. Makes it kind of sort of look like it's got pine needles. My mother and I are quite covetous of my sister's sewing machine now. Now the next step that I have to do is place on the buttons and I'm going to put on the buttons and tack this on. This is that scrubby tinsel that I showed you, or that scrubby yarn. And what I've done is I've done a 3-yarn or 3-strand technique. I'll put a link to the description box below of this technique so that you guys can make this garland for yourself. But I'm just going to do quick little tacks of it so that it kind of flops around on the tree. So I'm not sure which step I should do first. Probably the garland, or maybe even the buttons. We'll see. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to do the buttons first, and I'm going to use my sewing machine to do that, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like, because after I've got the buttons on, I'm going to sew it to the black. So I got all of my buttons sewn on. I used my sewing machine to do them, or rather my sister's sewing machine. And I also got it backed with the black felt. So now the next thing I have to do is get this thing to pop up and stay popped up, is I need to put 3 buttons along one side and then 3 loops along the other so that it'll close up and stay put when the kitties want to play with it. I already have 3 buttons, and I think I'm going to use some ribbon to do the loops. So I'm going to go take care of that, and I'll show you what I did when I come back. Well, here's the finished tree, guys. Now, just to kind of walk you through this, this is crocheted using a 3-strand method because just using 1 strand of the eyelash yarn was a little too thin. But it worked out really well. It's nice and soft. The kids can sit here and pull on it all they want because I've tacked it in just a couple strategic spots to kind of make it look like it's sitting on the tips of the branches of the tree. And yeah, the kids can just sit here and yank on this all they want. It's not going to come off. I've got all my buttons on here for hanging the ornaments. I used my sewing machine to do that. Let's give you a quick peek on the inside here. Here's one of the buttons on the inside, and then here is a loop of elastic that it just pins around the inside like that, and there they go. They got their own little Christmas tree that they can play with. So thank you for tuning in on this lovely day of the season to see the first piece of this project. Tomorrow I will be uploading the video on the star topper, so stay tuned until then if you're not too busy taking advantage of all the Boxing Day deals. Be sure to follow me on my website, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to see the inside scoop on my projects. I take pictures and I post as often as I can. Share with me your projects. I'd love to see what you're doing using @SewingUrsa. And until next time, guys, Merry Christmas and Happy Sewing.